if you're waking up in the West Coast, and good almost afternoon if you're in New York, for the unpack of the much-awaited Samsung Galaxy Note 8, which will be happening anytime soon. We can see the stage lighting up now. They're at the Park Avenue Armory, where the announcement is going to be done in any moment now. We're seeing this taking place live. If you can see in the background, the lights are strobing and the show is about to begin. So let's listen in and see what is in store.
I go with the note line because of the pen.
Rest in peace, Galaxy Note 7. It was fun while it lasted.
This is too bad, because I liked a lot of things about this phone.
Is the Note 7 still my favorite phone? And the answer is, of course it is.
I'm going to wait it out. I went back to my Galaxy S6. It's not the same.
I'm not going to downgrade my phone. I have faith in Samsung.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to the stage, President of Mobile Communications Business, DJ Ko.
Thank you and welcome to Park Avenue Armory. I'm so excited to be back in New York with you. We are here to celebrate one of this industry's truly unique devices, the Galaxy Note. In 2011, when we introduced the first Note, it was so far ahead of the curve that some people couldn't believe what we had achieved. They didn't understand the power of that pen, or they laughed at the big screen. But there are millions of people who recognized right away that the Note was much more than just another smartphone. They saw it as a canvas for their creativity, an engine for their ideas, and a platform for their productivity. So today, we are here to do more than celebrate a device. We are here to celebrate everyone who helped make the Galaxy Note such a success.
No, I was looking at another stream.
Oh, so anyway, I'm Tian He, and we are joined by CNET
none of us
editor,
will ever forget what
Hey, guys.
happened last year.
I was hoping to see
I
his
know.
cats.
I
So
want.
anyway,
jump out later.
yeah, they haven't jumped up yet.
But I will
So
Somewhere.
anyway,
never
what we saw just
forget
now was a
how
backdrop of the
millions
video
of
comic.
dedicated Note
I'm guessing
loyalists
they're going to talk a bit
stayed
about
with us.
illustration
Their
on the Galaxy
passion
Note 8
has been a constant
and
inspiration.
still on the speech.
So let me express
Yeah.
my deepest gratitude to the
Well, I actually find it quite heartwarming that they opened the show addressing the Note 7 issue last year and the fiasco that went along with it, thanking fans for staying with Samsung and inspiring Samsung to do better. So I guess we're looking at something better this time around. With the Note 8, we haven't been with a Note for a year now, and this is going to be something to look forward to.
who have come to New York to join us. You play such an important role by sharing your experiences and offering your feedback. I'm deeply, deeply humbled by your loyalty and grateful for your insight. Your passion is the most important measure of the value of our innovation and the greatest reward for our commitment to defy barriers. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. The truth is, as the Note is different from other smartphones, Note lovers are different from other smartphone users. They are the ultimate multitaskers and power users, the achievers creating new ways to understand and experience the world. They are why we created the Note. Today, they form a unique tribe of creators, inventors, and doers who look at the world and see unlimited possibilities. A tribe so passionate that 3 out of 4 Note users say it's the best phone they have ever owned. And almost 9 out of 10 are proud to recommend it to a friend. There is no better example of the strength of this tribe and the Note culture they have created than Pen Up. Pen Up is a global community of people who use their Note and S Pen to create and share beautiful works of art. It is remarkable to see millions of people around the world express themselves through the universal language of drawing. Pen Up is a great reminder of how meaningful progress enables people to reach further and do more. Here is another thing I love about the Galaxy Note. It validates our belief in the power of relentless innovation. Today, large screen phones are the fastest growing segment of the smartphone market, and they are defining the future of mobile technology. Now, after years of research and development, we can deliver the largest screen that fits comfortably in your hand. We are multitasking easier, note-taking more powerful, and drawings come alive. We've transformed the S Pen from
so
a
now
great
they seem to be
writing
talking
tool.
about justifying having a bigger phablet, a bigger screen, a better hold, a better grip on the Note 8.
I would usually say that bigger is better, but then it's very subjective because some people like myself, I will admit I have huge managed hands, so I guess the phablet size would be just nice. But I'm not too sure if you're looking at someone who has a smaller hands, you still have to use both. But then traditionally Samsung and a lot of phone manufacturers, they have this feature called one-handed operation. So it makes it easier to use the phablet with one hand.
I've never used the one-hand operation because I find it very awkward. I like the big screen because I can see more and do more in one screen. And you know what? Your hands will really adapt to the screen.
Yeah, but you usually
You
don't
kinda
want
have
to stretch your
do a
hands.
stretching like a whatever that superhero Fantastic Four guy.
Yeah.
It's
I think
smart
it's
You,
that
you
you
can
don't have-
stretch your thumb, right?
But
I think it's funny you guys
Thanos
mentioned,
fingers here.
you know, the
Not
size.
yet.
I think it's interesting that you guys mentioned the size because the one thing that I heard from women, they actually prefer a larger phone because a smaller phone actually doesn't, even though they have smaller hands, generally speaking, they still prefer a larger screen.
Smarter capabilities that will help people solve problems, manage tasks, and connect
Yeah.
the valuable experiences. So much has changed since we launched the first Galaxy Note. What was impossible to do 6 years ago is impossible to do without today. Over the past 30 years, I haven't seen how magic happened. When you embrace the future and make a
You guys are
bold
just joining
investment,
us. We are watching the unpack of the Samsung Galaxy Note 8 live from the Park Avenue Armory in New York City, and they are about to unveil the latest Galaxy Note 8.
and to introduce a smartphone that will inspire the Note lovers of tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen,
Samsung's president of mobile
It is
business,
my pleasure
DJ Ko, is on stage, and he's about to introduce
Galaxy
the phone now.
Note 8.
And we're all excited. Come on.
Thank you. Now, let's meet the Galaxy Note 8 in detail. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
So, there you have it. The Galaxy Note 8 has been officially unveiled. And that's what it looks like. Of course, Samsung is very good at this glitzy, show-stopping shows that they do in New York since they moved the launch to New York. Dual cameras.
Yep, as expected.
Did you guys notice the fingerprint sensor? It's still in a very awkward place.
The S Pen.
Yeah, Aloysius, I actually do notice. I don't really have any idea why they always have to put a fingerprint sensor in this odd location.
You're gonna be touching the camera lens a lot because of the position, I feel.
Well,
And if you're
it's the same thing that happened with the S8.
yeah, and if you're right-handed, your finger is not going to be in the right position as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Senior Vice President of Product Strategy, Justin Dennison.
All right, we're gonna listen now to what's in the Note 8 in detail.
Everyone. It is great to be back at Unpack to show you the incredible Note 8.
Yeah, it's time for popcorn.
Yes, it is.
Time to take notes.
Unveiling an amazing new product. It's about selling that product. For years, Note users have inspired us to think bigger. You've raised the bar for all smartphones by demanding more from yours. Now, your backgrounds and passions are different, but you all have one thing in common. You're not just dreamers, you're doers. And the Note 8 is made for people who want to do bigger things. Watch a movie on a cinematic screen when you're miles away from the nearest theater. Blog about your most recent vacation while flipping through all the photos you took. Or take a beautiful portrait, or create one yourself. With a screen built for working and playing, a top-of-the-line camera, and a pen for expressing yourself in any situation. The Note series has always been designed for people who want to get more out of their smartphones. Year after year, you've asked us to help you do what you couldn't do before. The Galaxy Note 8 is our answer. There's one thing that has always set the Note series apart: the large immersive screen. We created the Note because we saw an entire group of people who used every inch of their device and still wanted more. You were the reason we created the large screen category. You're the reason we pioneered the Edge panel, adding an entirely new dimension to the device. And you're the reason we keep pushing the boundaries of display technology, literally, to give you more space to do more. In March, we introduced an innovation that kicked off a new era in smartphone design: the Infinity Display. People love the Infinity Display on the S8 and S8 Plus. And because of it, they're using their phones more than ever before. And today, we're combining the revolutionary technology of the Infinity Display with the power of the S Pen and bringing it to the Note for the very first time. Thank you. The Infinity Display is a game changer for Note users. Because where others see more screen, you see more space to do what you love and to get things done.
Okay, so we're listening to
with an edge-to-edge display that covers nearly the entire front face of the device.
A brief history of the Note series and how we reached Note 8, skipping, of course, Note 7.
To create it, we took a
so what we have here is a large display with double, what they call the infinity screen, and the S Pen. So as you can see, it's I'm not a fan of the infinity screen.
Why?
Or the Edge. I've always switched it off because I have big thumbs and big fingers, and it gets in the way.
But what they said just now,
it is good if you want to. Well, have a cinematic experience is what they're talking about.
Yeah, because the largest screen real estate is meant for people to fully utilize it, and that's why we have the Infinity Display. I guess what you're looking at. Wow, just check out how huge the screen is. I guess they were not kidding about a cinematic experience. So especially in today's age, when you are looking at watching Netflix on a move, this is actually a great way to watch movies when you're on the go. Much better than like 2 years ago when you're looking at 5-inch screens.
But bear in mind that your screen is going to be letterbox, I think, especially when you're watching video, because the video resolution of your video will not fit.
To have a big screen.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
And as I get into my day, I need a device like the Note, which is made for multitasking and for balancing everything that life throws my way. Multitasking is a signature of the Note series.
The one thing that I like about the larger screen is that it'll give you a lot more space when you do the multitasking stuff. If you look closely, I think this was in the Note 4, they started the whole multitasking thing. And at that time there was very limited space to play with, but now having more space, you have so much more multi-windows to play with. And this is going to be a feature in iOS as well. And so, but then again, Samsung did it a lot earlier. So,
your most used apps with a single tap from the Edge panel. So that means as soon as I get in the car for that weekend drive, I can pull up maps and music with just one touch. And it all runs completely seamlessly thanks to the powerful performance of the Note 8. This is a phone designed for the way you use it. In fact, even though the Note 8 lets you see and do more than ever, its body is still incredibly slim and comfortable to hold. On the outside, this is a beautiful device. But what I'm really proud of are the amazing feats of engineering that lie just underneath the surface. The Note 8 is composed of hundreds of individual technologies, from the smallest internal wiring.
I'm not sure if
to
it's
the
me, but the
sensors below
screen
glass.
distortion is weird because it makes it look like the
And
phone is
you get to
bent.
choose your favorite color.
When you're watching
As
it
it
on
comes in midnight black,
the
my
angled
favorite
screen,
orchid gray,
it looks like the phone is
maple
actually bent.
gold, and deep sea blue.
I think that's really more of a presentation
Yeah,
issue.
I was like,
Because
is
you're
this phone
looking at a
bent? Yeah.
cubic
Its
format.
signature large screen display,
Yep, there you
the
have
Note
it.
8
It's
helps you
definitely
bring big
just
ideas
because
to
of the
life.
presentation.
Yeah, because it looks weird
And
and it looks
beyond
like
the
it's
screen,
bent.
it's a device that empowers you to create. Whether you're planning a
But
meeting,
honestly,
capturing a
what
memory, or
do you usually use the S
sharing a
Pen
meme.
for? Because for me personally, I just
And now,
use it to
I'm
do
excited to bring to the
annotations
stage
when
someone
I'm,
who
like,
really
sharing a
knows how to create with the
screenshot.
Note 8.
I'm not really a
Please help me
creative person,
welcome
so I don't doodle that
Susanna
much.
Silva.
I honestly
rarely
have
use
not
the
found a
S Pen.
use
In
for the
fact-
S Pen as well. And most of the time when I'm using the Note as a test phone, I never really take out the S Pen. I mean, I try to, but I just don't think it's efficient to write when I can type faster than I can write, especially with autocorrect helping me.
And play with the Note 8. Two of my favorite new features are the incredible new camera
I
and
actually
the S
lost
Pen,
the S Pen
which
on
let
my
you
Note
express
5
yourself in ways you never
for half
thought
of
you
its
could.
life and never missed it.
Today,
Yes, so
we
you
don't
can
just
see.
use our
Never
cameras
bothered
for
to
special
replace it, never
occasions.
missed it.
We use
It's
them
not
to
something I would
capture and share the
use
moments we
on a
live
daily
every
basis.
day.
It's nice to have
And
to
many
know
of
that
those
it's there,
moments
but
happen at night.
for me it's not
That's
essential.
why we introduced the dual pixel sensor. So
Yeah,
you
but
can
if you look
capture
at it
vivid
this way,
photos and
each
videos
person has a
in
very
no
different way of
light.
using the
course.
S Pen. So, like I said, for me, I
What's the
use
point
it
of
for
an awesome
annotation.
camera if you miss the
Some
perfect
people might
shot?
really use it to
Like when your
do
friend
creative
finally
work
gets
on it.
airborne.
And I guess that's the reason why they started
That's
off
why
with
we
the illustration of
introduced
Gilbert,
Quick Launch,
just to
so you
bring
can
home the
access
point
your
that
camera at
the
a
Note
moment's notice.
series is more than just a
And remember the days when
work
you were afraid of taking
productivities
pictures
phablet.
at the
It is
beach,
more than that.
by
It
the
is more for
pool,
creative
or in
work
the
also.
rain for fear of getting your phone wet?
Okay, now you're
That's
talking
why we made
about
our devices
the
water
camera's
resistant, so you
capabilities.
don't have to
Of
worry.
course, Samsung
And
cameras,
we're built on
Samsung
that
and
foundation
Galaxy
of
series
innovation
cameras
to create
are
a camera that makes
good
it even
cameras, one of the
easier to
best out
express
there in the
yourself.
market, and this one has two
However,
lenses as
wherever and whenever you
expected.
want.
So here we
In
go.
fact,
She's bringing it up now.
You might even say that the
It's
Note
actually the
8's
first
camera
time
twice
that
as good
Samsung
as
is doing
before.
dual cameras
And I mean that
on a
literally.
flagship,
We're
in case they've
proud
done
to
it for the
introduce the
mid-range
dual
stuff.
camera that will
But
set a
I've
new
not seen
standard
them
for
do dual
smartphone
cameras before, so
cameras
it's going to be interesting to
everywhere.
see what sort of dual camera features
That's
they have.
right. The Note 8
Is it going to be
has
like
two separate
LG's where it's
back
just
cameras
wide
that
angle, or
work
is it going to be like
together to
iPhone where it's
capture your
optical zoom?
experiences
So,
like
you
never
know,
before.
okay, yes, so now we know.
Yep.
It's going to be
One
colorful.
camera has a wide-angle lens for
So the
capturing
question is,
big scenes,
how wide is the wide
and the
lens?
other has a
And
telelens
well,
with
there you
2
have it. The
times
telephoto
optical
lens
zoom,
goes up to 2
so
times
you can
optical.
get closer to your subjects without sacrificing image quality.
So it's actually not that much of an
Here's the
improvement
coolest
compared to
part.
the phones currently in the
Note 8
market,
is the
because
first
I
smartphone
believe Oppo has
ever
already
to
announced
have
something
optical
that they're going to
image
launch a phone with
stabilization in
X5
both
optical
cameras.
zoom.
That
So,
means
you know,
you get crisp, clear shots even when you're on the move. Let's check out the difference between the Note 8 and a smartphone without dual OIS.
that's interesting. I'm
Of course.
not too sure about that claim,
Just look
actually.
at the
We'll compare it
difference.
with the iPhone.
Yeah. I'm not very sure about that claim.
They have to do it. They have to
It's
do
not just
the
photos that
obligatory
benefit from
comparison
dual OIS,
between
it's videos
a
too.
Galaxy phone and an iPhone. But this I gotta say for
If you
Samsung's
think
Galaxy
that's
phones,
amazing, here's something
it-
you're really gonna
it's
love.
actually quite rich in the
We've
color
created a
reproduction.
brand new mode
So especially when you're doing like
called
food
Live
photography,
Focus. So you
it
can get the
looks
most out of the Note
spectacular.
8's dual
The
camera.
way the colors pop out.
You know
So
those
you sort of can really
beautiful
entice people on
photos
Instagram with your
that
food
background is
photos.
soft and dreamy, and the foreground
I like to go back to the stabilization on video. I don't think the iPhone is that bad because I've tested it out before. I don't think it's that bad. So we have to see.
Gives you the freedom to decide how much your subject stands out by adjusting the blur and focus of the background in real time. Let me show you. First, I'm going to need an assistant. Kelly,
Oh man,
can you help me out for a second? Come on down. Kelly is a radio host from LA and a super note fan.
This whole live
What's going on,
focus
Suzanne? How you
thing
doing today? Good.
is
Awesome,
software
Kelly. We're
based.
gonna work on your
So I'm not very
profile.
sure, you know,
Make sure you get my good side though.
how good it will be.
I'm gonna launch my
We've seen it done before on other phones as well.
turn on live focus mode. And now, since this picture is all about Kelly, I'm gonna turn up the effect to maximum. All right, let's see what we've got. That looks great. You wanna come see this, Kelly?
Yeah, let's check that out.
Yeah, it's basically using algorithms
he
to
is
do
sexy.
3D positioning
That
and
is your
then
new
blurring
profile
as
pic,
well.
Kelly. I like that. Everyone,
No, but I guess this is also the way a lot of phone manufacturers are trying to differentiate in terms of the photography quality.
live focus mode.
Yeah. But I mean, if you look at it, the iPhone basically just does it automatically, so you don't have to think about it.
So,
Sorry, Tim.
if I wanna
Go ahead.
dial it down, I can. But since this is Kelly's profile pic, I'm gonna dial it back up.
So do you guys remember the first time they attempted to do something like this with the function where you can switch the focus from background to foreground, which was a little bit clumsy, but this one seems like a lot better.
They did it first on the HTC, I think.
Kelly's new profile pic.
The reason why this actually works better is because now you can adjust on a finer level. Like what you said earlier when they did it previously, the amount that you can adjust between the foreground and background is very limited. But as you can see just now in the demo, when doing the live focus, there was a slider for you to adjust the bokeh between the foreground and the background.
The Note 8 camera is a tool for expressing yourself, from composing the perfect portrait to capturing life in action no matter where you are. But an amazing camera is not the only way you can express yourself using the Note
Oh,
8.
what's that? I'll be very interested to see how
always
this
been
actually
the
works
heart and soul
when you try
of
it
the
out.
series. It's what allows you to be creative and productive.
And we can probably see all these
combines the
features start
simplicity of a
rolling over
pen,
to the next Samsung flagship, probably the S9.
Well, we're looking at the S9 now, aren't we?
It has a finer tip and greater
But you see, with the Note series, they always focus a lot on the S Pen for one very good reason. It adds a new dimensions to how you use the phablet. I mean, you can go all you want about the phone being bigger, faster, and having better screen resolution. But with the Note series, the way they differentiate is how they do the S Pen. So year on year, you're looking at a better S Pen with more pressure points, more functionality. But more importantly, right, they are also targeting specific users who want to use S Pen for different purposes.
And if you look at it, they're the only ones in the market that's actually using it at the stylus on a phone because no one else does it. Oh, this will be fun.
Oh, it's kind of like, adult coloring books.
Yes, this will be
I
fun.
can see
Yeah.
myself doing this pen up coloring book actually, if I have battery remaining on my phone at the end of the day.
That's why we
Yeah, this will be fun.
relying on pictures, emojis, and clever punctuation to express our feelings. But now, the S Pen adds a whole new dimension to your communication by letting you animate what you write or draw. So, instead of just texting a friend to say thank you, you can add a little flavor to your message. A personal
No, I
touch
don't think
makes
this will
a
be
huge
fun.
difference, even if you're just scheduling a coffee with a friend.
Just type it out faster.
Who has time to do that?
Yeah.
So for the Note
Come
8,
on.
we created Live Message, a new feature that lets you put some self back in self-expression. With Live Message, you can animate anything you write or draw, or add personal messages to
Didn't
photos.
Apple already did this in
Let's try it out
iMessaging?
right now.
iMessage rather.
First, I need a picture.
I think it's more
Which
on
side of this
a very
audience is
basic
gonna give me
level.
the most love?
Yeah.
Can I hear it? Can I hear it?
Hmm.
These guys over here. All right, you guys ready? Bring your smiles up. All right.
Okay, you know what? Whatever we are seeing on the
Perfect.
live right now, we can't really experience it because it is still very much hard to see how you actually use it in a real world situation.
Yeah.
But tomorrow we will be having hands-on with the Note 8. Oh, by the way, we're also doing another live. This time we will talk more about the experience of the Note 8 after we get some hands-on time with it, to sort of give you the full, a bit more details about how it feels and how we use it in our daily lives.
Saving to an standard animated message format, so I can share this with everyone. Isn't that cool?
It's cool, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
There's no telling when you're going to need to write down confirmation
easily
number,
slip
create a
that
to-do list, or
phablet
jot down a new
in a
idea.
pocket.
Chances are
So
you're not going to have a
subtle.
pen and paper handy. Hello S Pen and
It
Screen
fits,
Off Memo.
it fits in your skinny
Screen
jeans.
Off Memo is one of the most popular ways
Point to note, please do not put it in your rear pocket in case you accidentally sit on the Note 8 and you have to return it for repairs.
We made it even better. Now, when you pin a to-do list to your always on display, you can also edit it from there with a simple double tap. And that's not all. You can keep writing,
Who has handwriting
and
that good?
writing
Seriously.
and writing for as long as you want. Well, up to 100 pages, all without turning on your screen. The S Pen isn't just a tool for expressing yourself, it's a way to understand others and the world around you as well. You can now translate entire sentences with your S Pen, a feature that actually came in handy the other day. I'm going to Berlin next week and I asked a friend for a restaurant recommendation. But when she sent me the link, the whole site was in German. With the S Pen, I can just hover over a menu item and it will translate the entire sentence for me. It even...
Oh, this is
Thank
nice.
you.
This is cool. The currency exchange.
It even automatically converts units of measurement
Yeah,
and
but this is all
foreign
based on
currencies.
Google, I think.
There was a comment power, but I didn't really see the name just
From
now.
the smallest memo to the
Yeah, it looks
biggest
like
moments,
Google, so,
the Note 8 helps simplify your everyday and power.
But again, it's
amazing
better than you
experiences.
typing out the actual
All
numbers, the
device that fits in your
currency,
pocket.
and to get the conversion
The
on
Note 8
Google.
doesn't just change how you interact with what's on your phone, but with your phone itself. And to tell you more, please welcome my colleague, John Wong.
Thanks, Suzanne. I'm thrilled to be here, especially because
Wow,
you talked
diversity.
about two of my favorite things.
Yes, we
Bixby
had a white
and
Caucasian,
Samsung
a
DeX.
female, and now an
With the
Asian. man.
Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus, we launched Bixby, a smarter way to use your phone. Every year, smartphones get more advanced, with tens of thousands of features and functions. And at Samsung, our job is to bring you those innovations and make it easy to use them to their full potential. Bixby completely changes your everyday interactions, from voice and vision control to an intuitive home screen and intelligent reminders. It learns and adapts to the way you use your device, not the other way around. For instance, with Bixby Voice, you can speak to your phone naturally, using the words and phrases you use every day. Today, Bixby Voice is available for English speakers in more than 200 markets around the world, and it's learning and getting smarter every day. There are endless ways to personalize your Bixby experience, and all of them are at your fingertips with a simple press of the Bixby button. Take Quick Commands. With Quick Commands, you can program the Bixby button to perform complex tasks in response to a custom phrase. That means, with just 1 or 2 words, you can launch multiple actions at once. This is super cool. Let me show you how it works. So, I'm a bit of a foodie, so of course I take a lot of food photos. And for me, this involves a lot of steps. So that's why I set up my
Do
own
any of you guys
command
actually use Bixby?
to
Oh, wait, you can't use
phrase
it here, right?
food photo.
Do you think people use Bixby
Now
or
instead of
Siri
having to do all these
or even
steps
Google Voice
manually,
Assistant?
Bixby does them for me. So let me show you. I can press the Bixby button and say,
Well, I would say Bixby has potential, but again, the unfortunate thing is that it's still not available in this part of our world.
I think they just launched in 200 countries actually.
Yeah. Look, the thing I like about Bixby is how they do image recognition. So it's easy for you to actually get all the info. But granted that this is not new because Google has been doing it. The thing about voice assistant is, I guess I don't really talk too much.
That is very cool.
that way I can actually move the actual pizza slice.
Okay, yeah, that's cool, yeah.
And you can customize your own commands the way you like. For example, if I wanted to get artistic, I could have Bixby take all my food photos in black and white. Now, after all that pizza, getting a little bit tired, I think it's time for bed. Well, with Bixby, I mapped my entire nighttime routine to a single phrase. So now, with a simple press of the Bixby button, I can just say, good night. Bixby automatically turns it to do not disturb mode, sets my usual 6 a.m. alarm, and it turns on the blue light filter. Really cool.
Yeah, but the problem is the button,
Bixby's
right?
giving you an
Because
entirely new way
voice
to
assistants, you
personalize
just need
your
to
mobile
say the trigger
experience.
phrase, and
Use your phone the way you like.
it's just weird that they don't have a trigger phrase.
Constantly learning new capabilities.
Yeah, you're right, because looking at how, for example, Google or even Amazon have been doing voice assistants. Like for example, Amazon, you just call it Alexa, and then after that you can send in the voice command.
You'll be able to use Bixby.
I wouldn't say the problem with Bixby. I think it's just a way they implement it. The user journey is not as streamlined as how you can just talk to a voice assistant.
Yeah, I mean, like if I'm driving, I just say, "Hey Siri, what's the song playing?" and then it will automatically do it. But if I'm driving and then I have to press a button to tell Bixby to tell me the song, that's kind of distracting if I'm driving, right?
So, let's talk about Dex. In March, I told you about this amazing new product. Now, full disclosure, I'm a little obsessed with Dex. It's super cool because it lets you harness the power of your Galaxy
Okay,
device.
so my colleague
sending it to a
Jessica
monitor,
actually says
mouse,
that
and keyboard.
it's for phone commands. It's not meant to replace Google Assistant on the phone as well.
Seamlessly from your living room
But that's
to your
interesting.
office. You carry your work and personal life in your pocket.
You sort of have to envy your
Where you can
colleagues.
start to
At
edit
least
a
in the
presentation
States,
or play a
they
game
can
on the
sort of
then
get a
finish
sense
them
of
on
how
a big
Bixby
screen.
works.
Yeah, well,
Been working around the clock.
not all of us have an American accent, right, Tim?
Optimizing the most useful mobile apps
Technically,
for the Dex
is your
environment.
accent American?
Take one of the
Yeah,
most
well,
Canadian?
popular mobile games.
Will it be able to understand me better?
With
Yes,
game launching
yeah.
on Dex,
It's designed for the
you can
American
put
accent.
graphics in a full screen, immersive mode, and destroy your enemies with a mouse and keyboard. But, of course, even though a lot of us like to play games and
Isn't that
relax,
cheating?
we still have to get stuff done.
What? That?
So we have a
Yeah,
whole
using a mouse to
ecosystem
play Vainglory,
exciting
it's not supposed to do that.
that'll change the way you work and
The same can be said
play.
for a lot of mobile games.
Yeah, so, you know,
The other day,
wonder how we'll
chatting
change
with
the
my
Vainglory
colleagues about
competitive scene then.
how to show
If people say, I want to play it this way, and,
real-life
you know.
story. And one of them said to me, John, you are that story. See, I have Dex set up at home
But I gotta say,
and at the office.
the Samsung
And I've
Dex
definitely been
experience is very
spoiled. My daily
interesting.
commute involves a
Okay,
20-minute
granted,
stroll
not
down New York's famous High Line
100% of the apps
to the
are
Samsung office.
compatible with Samsung
So,
Dex, but those
this
that are
is what I
really
travel with.
give you the full desktop experience.
No laptop.
I won't say that it is a direct replacement to a desktop,
Let's
but
say I'm on
it
the
is
High
pretty
Line,
useful for me
and I need
to
to
look
talk
at it
to
as
Suzanne
a
about our
second
Note
desktop.
8 presentation.
So let's say if I'm home, I just need to plug it,
We've
plug in
partnered
the
with
Note 8 or
to
even the
make video
S8 or
conferencing
S8 Plus to the
completely
Dex station. I can
So I
continue
can
what I
just
was
open up
doing,
the Zoom app,
sort of without
start
interruption. Like for example, if I'm working on a Word document,
Suzanne.
or even maybe Vainglory.
I
If
love
I'm
this
playing, I
flexibility
can
where
probably
can
get
be
an
doing this
advantage, as
while
you say.
strolling down the High Line.
But
Oh, there she is.
yeah,
Hey,
the Dex
Suzanne.
experience is great as a desktop, as a second desktop, sorry, but
Hey, I'm
not
just
as a
actually getting
replacement.
back to my
No,
desk
it's not.
here.
Definitely not a
So let me
as a
just dock into
replacement.
the
Yeah.
Dex station.
No.
One day, maybe
What's
in the
great
future,
is
maybe.
'cause I
I mean,
started
Motorola
that
tried it
while I was walking down the High Line on my phone.
years back, and that didn't really
Back on
take
my
off.
decks,
It was cool,
That
but
was
it
a
didn't
lot of
take
years
off.
ago.
Yeah.
is open up the app, and the video conference is still connected. It's pretty cool. Didn't have to rejoin, reconnect. So, Suzanne, I think I owe you that updated photo of the Note 8, but I'd like your help with that.
So for those of us who are just
let's do
joining
it.
us
All
on
right,
our
let me just share you
live
my screen so you can see what's going
broadcast
on.
live stream right now here on Tech360.tv. We are listening in on what's happening at the Samsung Galaxy Note 8 Unpack event
So pull up
in
Adobe
New York
Lightroom.
City. And then after this, we'll talk about
photo
what the
that we
Note
need
8 is
to
about, what
Edit here.
we expected it to be and what the
Alright,
outcome
it's a good-looking
is.
photo,
So
but I think it's a
keep
bit
it
dark.
right here. We
So
are
let's do a select
watching
and
the
edit.
Galaxy Note 8.
And wow, with the mouse, this is actually really easy.
And now they're showing the capabilities of
So,
the,
Suzanne,
what do
I
you
might
call
need your
that?
help with
The decks.
letting me know when the exposure looks right to you.
Okay. That looks great right there, I think.
Right there? Perfect. And just to finish it off, let me do a little bit of a crop at the right angle here. I think that's about good.
Oh, this
I'll
is
save
interesting.
that. Suzanne, how does that look?
She's actually seeing
Thanks so
the
much for your
screen
help.
in real time.
Awesome. Thanks, Suzanne. We'll chat with you later.
See ya.
I think what's
Now do you
more
see why I
interesting
love
is
using
how
decks all the
he
time?
was doing the photo edit using the
Yeah.
decks. I mean, it's easy enough to do it on the phone, but if you want to translate this experience onto a desktop, the deck station is actually quite useful in this aspect.
No, I'm actually more impressed that they did real-time editing, and then the person on the video stream was able to see the real-time editing. That's pretty cool, actually.
Would this be actually a new Note 8 feature? Because I don't
I think
remember
so.
this
Yes.
on the
Yeah, I
S8.
don't remember that on the S8. That's fine.
For years, we pioneered groundbreaking new products like decks and refined the fundamental features that have always set the Note series apart. And to tell you more about how we've made those features even better, please welcome back Justin Dennison.
Thank you, John. With the Galaxy series, we've set a new standard for the entire smartphone industry. And that's because of you. These days, your Note is a movie screen, a camera, a notebook, and that's just the new baseline. But over and over again, the Note series has reset our expectations with top-of-the-line performance specs and a suite of extraordinary features. These have continually redefined what we expect from our mobile devices. And when it comes to performance, the Note 8 is better than any Note we've ever made. Remember when I was talking earlier about how powerful the Note 8 is and how it can run multiple apps simultaneously? Well, it has a 10-nanometer processor and a full 6 gigs of RAM. That's as much as many PCs out there. And of course, you keep your entire life stored on your phone, right? And I'll call us crazy, but we don't think that you should have to delete your stuff or get a whole new phone when you run out of space. That's why the Note 8 has a micro SD card slot. Yes. Thank you. And even without the card,
finally it's
got
back.
64 gigs of storage on board. Enough for huge amounts of music, photos, and documents, or, according to my 12-year-old, about 1 week's worth of selfies. It's true.
Of course, we don't want to delete
Of course,
our
when you're
stuff.
storing that much information,
I thought they were going to talk
keep
about
it
cloud-based
safe.
solution, but yeah.
That's why we embed Knox, our defense-grade
Okay, I have a
security
cat
into the
incoming.
hardware and software. And that's why we let you choose how to protect your device. We have a whole menu of advanced biometric options, including fingerprint, facial recognition, and the iris scanner.
Okay,
Which is our
I
most
see your
secure
cat.
form of biometric authentication, and the one that I use to maintain.
She just got a haircut.
The S Pen also opens a whole new way to communicate. Create your own live message to express yourself in fun and unique ways.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
You can now start your day organized with reminders. And just double tap to edit again.
All right, we are back live now. We have to apologize. We got lost in the whole galaxy of the internet for a while there as they were just wrapping up the presentation of the Note 8. So what we missed, let's see, there's 64 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of storage, a micro SD slot in your new Galaxy Note 8. And the most important part, it will be available in stores on September 15th, assuming that they meant the United States.
Yeah, that's the US.
But you never know, Singapore usually is the first in the region to have these phones as well. And pre-orders, they said, will begin in just a matter of days, so you're going to have to stay tuned for that when they make the announcement.
So to round up what we've actually seen, Aloysius, what is the one feature that really caught your attention during the live stream?
Dual cameras, the dual 12 megapixel cameras. I think that's going to be the standout feature because it's the first time that Samsung has a dual camera set up on a flagship phone, and I think it's going to be a game changer for them if they can get it even better than the competition, which, you know, given their track record, they usually do. So that's going to be interesting to see how it goes.
Okay, for myself, I think the S Pen is still the key feature here. But as you can see, it's not just about improving the S Pen. It's about expanding the functionality of the S Pen. They are able to do a lot more. The example that we saw of how it can actually highlight a particular currency and do direct conversion immediately. And also doing translation when you highlight a text. These are all, I would say, bells and whistles, but they are very practical to use.
Yeah, well, I like the translation and the currency conversion part, which is something new. The translation was part of it, was part of the Note 7, as was the note-taking capabilities on the sleeping screen. So those are nice to have. I've never really had a chance to use that on my Note 7 before it was recalled, but I'm glad to see that it's back, and I'm looking forward to take notes, up to 100 pages, they said, of notes you can take with your handwriting.
So, Aloysius, in terms of the Note 8 size, what are your opinions on it?
I think it's just slightly larger than the S8, maybe S8 Plus. So it might not be a game changer in terms of size. Obviously, they don't want to go too big. I think they've been sort of shrinking the size. They don't want to make it too big as well, because I think that is cost for their AMOLED manufacturing process. But having a large screen, it's personal preference. Personally, I think anything bigger than 5 inches or 5.5 is too big. And I don't like 6-inch phones. So, but you may. What about you, Tim? Do you like it?
Tim, what's your opinion on the size of the Note 8?
Well, I've been a fan of the Note since I first used it because of the size. It is a phone, smartphone for multitaskers, just like what the guy mentioned during the presentation. I guess that's why I like the Note series, because you can see more and do more on the screen. What I don't like, of course, and we've seen that on the S8, is the edge, because it interferes with skin, and I have a lot of excess skin on my hand. So I usually switch that off, but it is nice to look at. It's nice to hold. If it's anything like the S8 Plus, it's promising. I'm not sure if I missed it though, but they didn't mention anything about battery life this time around.
Battery life?
Did you guys hear anything?
I didn't really
No,
catch it.
Yeah, I don't
because
think
they made a
mentioned
big
it.
deal about this on with the Note 7.
I
Yes.
guess it's a
Yes.
conscious...
I think it's
this
a
time
tricky
around,
thing. Yeah.
they didn't really mention about the battery life, so that's kind of mysterious and interesting at the same time. We'll find out more tomorrow when we can ask Samsung people in Singapore.
Yeah. Right, so back to the display. For me, personally, I quite like the size. And I agree with you, Tim. The edge itself is something that I'm not a fan of. But what I really like is the way they designed the Note 8. So like what you rightly said just now, how the Note 8 was able to slide seamlessly into the pocket.
Her pocket, yeah.
That is actually a definitive proof that they put a lot of thought into the design. in terms of the slimness of the phone, the profile, the side profiles and everything. So I'm more keen to see how in your hands the Note 8 feels, especially when you're looking at using it with maybe just one hand. Again, like I mentioned earlier when we started the live, I have huge hands. But if I can use it with one hand and I don't have to stretch my thumb all the way to the edge and maybe not and sort of avoid carpal tunnel syndrome, I guess that passes
You
my
know,
test.
the ultimate test of how effective the screen is, the screen size, is taking a selfie. Although I'm pretty sure you can use gesture control or voice control with this one, just like all the other Samsung Galaxy phones that came before it, which is something I do because it's too small now and too slim to actually have a proper grip of the phone and press that key to take a picture. But that is a good test of how effective that big screen is.
So
Doesn't
back
LG
to-
have? Yeah, sorry. Doesn't LG have that picture where you can say something and it takes a picture as well?
I think the command is kimchi, right?
Yeah.
Cheese.
Yeah.
Hello. No. Cheese. I always use cheese.
Yeah.
No different voice commands. So back to this point about the camera. Right now we're looking at a dual camera setup, as what you said just now. The one feature that Aloysius actually liked. So I'm looking at more on the wide angle lens. How effective will it be when it comes to doing portrait or landscape photography? And how will it affect you when you're looking at doing like Instagram shots? Aloysius, what's your thoughts?
Well, we've seen how effective wide-angle photography is on smartphones. LG started the whole thing, right, with the G5. Oh, yeah. So you do get a lot more in your picture, but there's always some trade-off because it's wide-angle. That means there's some distortion in the lens, and then you need to have the software algorithms to correct that. Honestly, I think the whole live focus thing will be the cool part. It'll be great to see how it works in real life when we try it out tomorrow. We really want to see if it manages the bokeh perfectly, because the main problem with a lot of the software correction for bokeh effects is that they don't crop it out properly, so you can actually see like little bits where it's still not blurred properly, and then the images just look weird. I seen it on, say, like the Asus Zenfone Zoom, Zenfone 3 Zoom. So hopefully they will get this right, and then it will be perfect, I think.
And Tim, for you, when looking at the 2x optical zoom, how useful do you think it is?
I think it is because for people like me who travel with my smartphone as my primary camera when I travel, it is very useful. I don't have to carry a proper camera anymore to zoom in, which I still do because, you know, sometimes you really just can't get close to your subject. So this will be nice to try out when I travel. I hope I can get my hands on the Note 8 before my next trip and try it out because I'm going up to the mountains. And so yeah, tomorrow we will, well today or later today because it's already past midnight here in Singapore. So in about 15 hours from now, we will be live again at the Singapore first-hand look at the Note 8. We will get our hands on these phones in about 12 hours from now. In fact, we will get our hands on the Note 8. So we will be live again here on Tech360.tv. So thanks for staying up with us watching this Unpack event from New York. Joining us, of course, is our executive editor, Tian He, and Aloysius is on Skype with us with his cat.
Oh wait, the cat was hiding out there.
There's the cat.
Yeah, she's right there, sleeping.
All right, thank you very much, guys, and have a good night.